All right, we call the Transportation Committee to order. I don't need to call the roll. We have Member Abraham, Member Abel, and Chair Metzger sitting in so that we have quorum today. Number 2 on the agenda is the consent agenda, approval of the minutes from October 3rd, 2023 regular meeting, and approval of bills and transfers to the county totaling $1,007,819.95. Do I have a motion? Motion by Member Abel, second by Member Abraham. Do I have any questions? No? All those in favor vote aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Moving on to number 3, do we have any appearance by members of the public or county employees?
We've had no requests to speak this morning.
All right. We will move on to department matters. 4A1, request approval of a 2024 motor fuel tax maintenance resolution and estimate of cost. Do I have a motion? Motion by Member Abraham, second by Member Abel. Question, Jerry, do you want to present this?
Sure, thanks, Chairman. So this is our yearly motor fuel tax resolution to set up some of the items that we use for maintenance, salt and paint and signs. And so a little bit major difference from last year is that we had an excess amount of salt from last winter, and so we didn't put as much salt in this year's program. And so so I lessened that amount and then increased the amount of maintenance that we're going to do on our oil and ship work for 2024.
Questions? Chair Metzger?
I have 2 questions. Number 1, what was the cost? Is the cost lower for salt this year than last year, or did we pay higher price last year? It doesn't matter. I know we have excess salt, but I'm just curious.
It did increase like $5 a ton. So we just received that information last week, and so it's $88 and some change for a ton of salt this year.
And my second question, is there a reason that you're reducing the oil and chip budget? Is there not a need, or is it just to reduce monies for this year's budget?
Actually, I'm increasing the oil and chip.
I thought you said you decreased it. You increased it.
Yes.
Okay.
So kind of taking some of the money that we're saving on the salt program and putting that
Perfect.
into the oil and chip and maintenance program.
All right. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor vote aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Request is approved. 4A2, request approval of resolution for the purchase of 2 agricultural tractors from Central Illinois Ag. Do I have a motion? Motion by Member Abraham, second by Member Abel. Jerry, do you want to explain this?
Sure. So this is got quite a bit of equipment today. So the first one is a couple ag tractors that we were looking at. This was actually in our 2022 budget, but some other things came up and we kind of pushed this aside. And so we were kind of looking, and we had some extra money in our budget, and kind of reached out to Central Illinois Ag, and they kind of had a special going on. And so we're getting so it's 2 new tractors, and I think the good selling point here is that they're giving us quite a bit on the trades on these 2 tractors, 25 and 23,000 respectively. And all these 2 tractors that we're going to trade in have about 2,400 hours on each of those. And originally, when we purchased those tractors, we were using them for our batwing mowers, and they were basically too small for our mowers when we got them. And so what we use them for now is a lot of just miscellaneous work, like seeding and pulverizing dirt and that type of stuff is what they get used throughout the year on.
Do we have any questions? Chair Metzger?
So are the new tractors larger then?
No, they're actually going to be smaller.
Oh,
So,
so you don't have a need for the batwing?
We do. We have other tractors. I probably should explain that. So we have so after that we purchased some bigger tractors that have more horsepower to handle the bat wings. So the ones we're trading in are 95 horse tractors, and we're going to purchase 75 horse tractors, and that can run our seeder and our pulverizer and that type of stuff. And there's also, we don't have to worry about the DEF with the emissions with the 75 horse as well.
I had one, but I think you answered it. For other vehicles that we've been purchasing lately, you've been putting them out to auction, but you think because of the price that they're offering, you're better off doing the trade-in?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
All right. Anybody else? All right, all those in favor vote aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the request is approved. 4A3, request approval of a resolution for the purchase of 1 tandem dump truck from Central Illinois Trucks and 2 tandem dump trucks from Rush Truck Centers. Do I have a motion? Motion by member Abraham, second by member Abel. Jerry?
So this is for our 2024 budget to purchase 3 tandems, and I know it's a little bit odd to do a couple different kinds here, but so on the Kenworth, when we were talking to Central Illinois Trucks, they said that they could get us a vehicle in the first quarter of 2024, and so I wanted to take advantage of that to be guaranteed a truck in the first quarter, so we could do the work that we need to do and get the truck out there running before it needs to be in the wintertime. And then on the internationals was going to be more of a second quarter. We had 2 slots in the second quarter of 2024, and so that's kind of why we did that. I want to take advantage of the first quarter with Kenworth, and I may do when we get the truck in, we may look at doing a trade-in on that as well. They couldn't really guarantee, kind of the way the trade market is, they couldn't really guarantee me a price at that point. And with the internationals, so in 2023, we are purchasing 2 international trucks. We've received one, and we haven't received the other one yet. So it's kind of putting a little bit of delay on us because we get the trucks in, they go to, we'd have to do a couple things with them. It takes us a couple weeks, and then they go get the beds put on them, and so that's like a month. And so anyway, so in 2023 we're keeping the trucks through the winter, and so when it comes April of 2024, we'll look to either put them on auction or trade one of those in. So we have some options there and some flexibility that will help us out here come this spring.
Do I have any questions? Member Abraham?
So item 4A5 is the request for the purchase of a boom mower. But under this item, which is 4A3, we're purchasing a boom mower max boom arm. Should that be on the same item, or is that an error? Or is that
So when I did the memo includes items 3, 4, and 5 all together.
Gotcha.
So that the memo's like that, but the resolutions are correct and in the right order. So this is just doing the actual tandem cab and chassis of for the tandems.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Chair Metzger?
So what if you did not purchase these trucks due to budget concerns by certain board members? How does that impact your operation?
It really impacts it, not so much, maybe not right now, but it kind of delays us. We're on kind of a rotation where every 8 to 10 years we're replacing these trucks, and so we have 19 tandems, so 18 are like in full use throughout the year, and so we kind of rotate them 8 to 9 years, and we already are kind of behind because of COVID and because of supply chain issues from a couple of years ago, and so we're trying to make up and trying to make sure these are on a rotation, because we've seen about year 9 is the maintenance cost really increases on these trucks because they really get abused as the first 8 years, and we've had to do a lot of different types of maintenance after that. So it's really going to put us behind as far as having the equipment that needs to be to provide the services.
So after year 9, you're saying that you have a lot of maintenance. So they have to come off the road for a time while you do that maintenance. It's not just, it's major maintenance problems is what you're
Correct,
saying.
yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anyone else? I have one quick question. So I know a few years ago when I started on this committee, we were having problems getting stuff in. Is that getting better about the turnaround from when we try to order versus when we get and so on?
It is getting better. I think the supply chain issues are better. I think the production in the plants has increased. You know, we ordered the international trucks. So that's kind of concern a little bit moving forward. We should have had them back in August, and now we just got them the first part of October. So it's still a little bit of delay, and so hopefully we'll see how next year goes, and all this stuff will get ironed out.
All right, anybody else? All right, all those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The request is approved. 4A4, request approval of a resolution for the purchase of 3 dump bodies, hoists, and hydraulics from Monroe Truck Equipment. Do I have a motion? Motion by member Abraham, second by member Abel. Jerry?
So this is, for the tandems or the cabins chassis we just approved, this will put the dump bodies, so basically the dump beds, all the hydraulics, on these trucks that we need for plowing snow. We do a lot of the work in-house as far as our hitches and cooking up the snow plows and the wings. But they take care of all the hydraulics, purchase the beds, and get that all lined up there. So this is out of Monroe up in Joliet, and they've been doing the trucks for the last 2 years for us.
Do you have any questions? All right. All those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And the request is approved. 4A5, request approval of a resolution for the purchase of 1 boom mower and Atmax equipment. Do I have a motion? Motion by member Abraham, second by member Abel. Jerry?
So this is the unit that we're getting to replace our brush cutter. And I don't know if you remember, I showed the picture of that in the budget presentation last year where they were side by side, and it was what we call a uniharvester is what it's called. Basically, it's like a 3-head combine that we put a head on it, and it was and I could probably find the picture, but actually from 1988, and so it's kind of had its useful life here. I'll just go ahead and find the picture. I think I got some. So yeah, so this is I think it's called Frankenstein a little bit on what we have. So and then the new one that we're looking at is so that was kind of a makeshift basically, and then so this is an actual, this was made for brush cutting, so it's got a lot of better features, a lot better visibility, safer, and I think we can do a lot of different things with it. It's got different attachments that we could add later on. So, I think this will last us, 25 years once, and I think this will help us out quite a bit.
Anybody have any questions? Member Abraham?
So this is coming from Tampa, Florida. Could we not find anything closer?
There's not any manufacturers that make this type of machine anywhere close. It's got, it has a Cummins engine, so we have a Cummins dealership here, and I think they might have a part supply store like in Ohio. So I think, if we do need parts, I think they're readily available.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? All those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And the request is approved. 4A6, request approval of motor fuel tax resolution and highway fund resolution for Seminary Street, CH 27, section 22-00180-01-RS. Have a motion? Motion by member Abraham, second by member Abel. Jerry?
So this is a project we're looking here in 2024, and where it resurfaces Seminary Street and Downs from 150 to Franklin. And Hanson Engineering's doing the plans on this, and so we're finalizing the plans, and we're wanting to go out for bid on this in December to kind of to get this out early in 2024, so get the contractors moving on this. So it's going to be basically a resurfacing, but we are adding some curb and gutter to help with drainage and some additional drainage, and then also redoing the sidewalks through here. Not really changing the width of the road too much or what's currently there. So that all stay the same. The Village of Downs is still looking at some things that they're doing in their downtown area. I think we're just going to kind of let them do that they'll provide us a plan once they're done with that. But we're just going to go ahead and resurface the actual street through there at this time.
Do we have any questions? Chair Metzger?
This is the same street that there was controversy a couple of years ago, I believe, is there not?
Yes,
And so this is being retained as a county road. We are not giving this road over to the village, correct?
correct. No, but it will remain a county highway at this time.
And how does that impact the use of that road? Doesn't change anything, right?
It will not change anything.
Thank you.
Anyone else? No? All those in favor vote aye. Opposed, nay. The request is approved. Let's move on to 4B, items to be presented for information, project summaries. Jerry?
So the first one is the Horse Farm Road project. So that was the 2-mile reconstruction project that we did south of Leroy from the county line to 136. And so the project's all completed. I was told that there's actually grass growing, so that's good. So this is the final cost on that project. So we did come in, $350,000 less than what the bid was, and just where the final quantities came in as far as some of the aggregates, and then we kind of modified some things as construction went along. So it turned out really well on that project, and it was very much needed. Any questions on that? I don't have any pictures. I think I showed some pictures last month. So, so the next one is the Hoffman Bridge south of Colfax. I do have some pictures of that. Hopefully you can see them. So these were taken like Saturday morning, I guess, from the resident engineer Gertz that was on site. So all the concrete's been poured, and they're kind of doing some of the dirt work, finishing up the riprap, stripping the deck down, and kind of getting ready for the road work to begin. There's about 200 to 300 feet on each side that needs to be redone and have the existing pavement match in with the new bridge. So just kind of got some pictures here. Here's kind of a side view showing some of the riprap, and you can kind of still see some of the forms and stuff that's on the deck here. Just kind of a picture of the slopes and the riprap tying into it. Here's some of the other underside of the deck, all the riprap in place underneath there, and then still some of the form work that's got to be removed. And so here's the deck that was poured, and then this is the approach pavement that was poured here last week. And so you can kind of see this is about how much road work they got to do. So come in, they'll put new rock and new asphalt in here. And there's kind of a picture of the deck. It was a large deck. It probably took about 7 hours to pour. I think it was 240 yards of concrete, I believe, when it was all said and done. So they had a pump truck on both sides of it to run the concrete trucks through. And so yeah, so you can see all the formwork they've already taken down. So it looks like it's kind of chaos out there, but it actually is coming together. And kind of see some more formwork and riprap in place. And so, so yeah, I would say a few more weeks, this ought to be fairly close to being opened back up. So any questions on that project or bridge? So next project is the Danvers-Uten Road project from Danvers to Rivian Motorway. And this was our federal project from 2023. And basically it was resurfacing and had safety shoulders where we widened the road out and put rumble strips in. And so very good improvement for that area, an 80,000 pound route. So be good for the elevators in that area as well. Any questions?
All right, thank you. Next up, Department 5A, Department Matters, Administrator Taylor. Good.
Thank you, Chair Rogel. I just wanted to remind this committee of the upcoming waste disposal project. The first session of that is November 29th. I believe it begins at 1 p.m. You should have all received notice of that, but this committee would also be a part of that application process and those public hearings.
All right. Other business and communication, our next meeting's December 5th at 8 a.m. And then we have on the agenda, we have all the schedule for next year's committee meeting dates and time. So I want everybody to make sure and look at that and get that on their calendars. Do we have anything else from anybody? All right, well, thank you all for being here, and I believe we're adjourned.